Good morning, dear students. Today we will be doing an important topic of Unit 4, which is Social Cost and Benefit Analysis. So, this is how we are going to go about this topic. We'll be discussing the concept, the rationale, difference between commercial cost benefit analysis and social cost benefit analysis. Then we will be doing two approaches related to it, which is UNIDO approach and LM approach. So whenever a private sector set up any project, the project promoters have only profit motives in their mind, while in case of public sector projects, the social implications of those projects are also taken into consideration. Therefore, the public sector projects are evaluated and studied their impact on the society. So, what is commercial cost benefit analysis? We compare the total cost of the project with the expected future benefits from the project. And when we find that the benefits are more than the cost, it means the project is worth doing. So this is nothing but a profitability analysis of the project. But what will be the cost or the benefits that a society may have to bear or get from the proposed project are not considered here. For example, suppose a manufacturer produces cigarettes and sell it rupee 40 a packet, and another manufacturer produces soaps and sell it for rupees 20 a bar. Now, if we think that the impact of soaps and cigarettes on the society, the question may be, does the price of cigarettes take account of the smoker's higher probability of heart disease or cancer? Also, does the price of soap take note of the benefits from the use of soap? For example, reduced risk of spread diseases. Obviously, a commercial entrepreneur can't give well answer to these questions. So the answer is social cost benefit analysis. So to reflect the real value of a project to society, we must consider the impact of the project on society. So a project may have positive or negative impact on the society, whereas positive impact is known as social benefits. The negative impacts of the project on the society is known as social cost. Thus, when we evaluate a project from the viewpoint of the society as a whole, it is called social cost benefit analysis or economic analysis. For example, if we set up a project that is creating environmental pollution, it is the cost beared by the society due to that project. So this is social cost. Or if we set up a project which generates employment in the society, or if we construct a bridge which helps in developing transportation in that area, or which enhance the communication in that area. So these are the benefits derived by the society due to that project. So these are known as social benefits. Now how do we define social cost benefit analysis? So SCBA refers to a systematic and formal way of comparing public expenditure. It takes into account all benefits and cost, then just the financial profitability. It provides a basis for assessing whether a project should be undertaken or not. So using SCBA, we can make choice amongst various investment opportunities, projects or proposal. Therefore, different alternative needs to be compared before making a choice. And a project is defined as worth doing if the net social benefits are more than the net social cost. Let us see now what is the difference between the commercial cost benefit analysis and social cost benefit analysis. So CBA is limited range of effects are considered in cost benefit analysis as it measures the profitability of individuals who are only a part of the society. So in this cost benefit analysis, we consider the direct cost and direct benefits due to the project, whereas in SCBA, the evaluator has to take a wider view as it tries to measure social values of the whole society. For example, if someone has decided to set up a pharmaceutical company in a city, the cost of making medicine and the revenues generated out of selling it are considered as direct cost and direct benefit, and they are taken into account in CBA. Whereas this project may be having some social implications as well. For example, due to this medicine, the health of the society may improve by giving life-saving drugs, or this is the social benefit, or this medicine may be having side effects. So these are the social cost. So the social cost and benefits are also considered in social cost and benefit analysis. Another difference is CBA is quantitative in nature, whereas an SCBA can be quantitative or qualitative. Let us see the scope of SCBA. So this can be used for both public and private sector projects, but in case of public sector projects, this is most commonly used. For example, we can use social cost benefit analysis for Manrega scheme of the central government. Okay, SCBA is important especially for the developing countries where government has limited resources and it has to decide where to spend the money in which project. So therefore, they use this technique to prioritize the project. SCBA is also important as the private investment are to be approved by various government and quasi-governmental agencies. So we can say that this is important for both public and private investments. Now, what are the objectives of SCBA? So, the objective is the first one, economic benefit of the project in terms of shadow price. So, first is to calculate the benefits of the project in terms of shadow price. So, what is shadow price? It is an estimated price for something that is not normally priced in the market. For example, if in the case of perfect competition, the shadow price is equal to the market price. In developing countries, for project evaluation, the distribution of factors on the basis of market price is imperfect because there exists a fundamental disequilibrium due to mass and underemployment at existing wage levels, in the deficiency of the funds at existing interest rate, and in the scarcity of foreign exchange at the prevalent exchange rate. What does it mean? It means that in developing countries, the level of wage should be much below the market wage because of availability of pool of labor. So whatever wage we are paying to the labor is the market price, but whatever wages they actually deserve is the shadow price. The another objective is, so in SCBA we calculate the benefits of the project in terms of shadow price and not the market price. We will be elaborating this point in the next slide. Then we also consider the impact of project on the level of savings and investment in the society. So if the project is helpful and it is enhancing the savings and investment in the society, such projects are considered to be good projects. The third objective is the impact of the project on the distribution of income in the society. So whenever we distribute the benefits of the project, if the majority of the benefits go to the lower strata of the economy as compared to the affluent section, such projects are considered to be good projects. And the last objective is the contribution of the project towards the fulfillment of certain merit wants, self-sufficiency, employment, etc. So what is merit wants? Merit wants means these are the long interest of the government, the long interest areas of the government. Then comes the significance of SCBA. Now, why SCBA is different from monetary cost benefit analysis? So, these are some points of difference. So, the first point is market imperfections. Market price, which form the basis for computing the monetary cost and benefits from the point of view of the project sponsor, does not reflect social values. The monetary cost benefit analysis reflect social values only under conditions of perfect competition, as in that case market price will be equal to the shadow price. But the common market imperfections found in the developing countries are rationing, prescription of minimum wage rate, and foreign exchange regulation. Rationing means a commodity control over its price and distribution. The price paid by consumer under rationing is often less price that would prevail in a competitive market. So whatever price paid by the consumer under rationing is its market price of the commodity, whereas the actual price of the commodity before rationing is the shadow price. Similarly, when we pay minimum wages to the workers as prescribed by the government, the wages paid to labor are usually more than what wage would be paid in a competitive labor market, free from such legislation. So, whatever minimum wages we are paying to the labor, it is the market price, whereas the wages which we would have paid in a perfect competition situation would be the shadow price. The official rate of foreign exchange in developing countries which exercise close regulation over foreign exchange is less than the rate that would prevail in the absence of exchange regulation. The next point is externalities. A project may have beneficial external effects. For example, it may create some infrastructure facilities like roads which benefit the neighboring areas. Such benefits are considered in SCBA, though they are ignored in assessing the monetary benefits to the project sponsors because they do not receive any monetary compensation from those who enjoy the external benefits created by the project. Likewise, a project may have harmful external effect like environmental pollution. In SCBA, the cost of such pollution is relevant, though it is not important for project sponsor as they may not incur any monetary cost. Hence, in SCBA, externalities are relevant because in such analysis, all cost and benefits, irrespective of to whom they accrue and whether they are paid for or not, are relevant, which are irrelevant in case of CBA. Next point is taxes and subsidies. From the private point of view, taxes are definite monetary cost and subsidies are definite monetary gains. From the social point of view, taxes and subsidies are regarded as transfer payment and they are not considered in the calculation of SCBA. Next point is concern for savings. A private firm does not put differential valuation on savings and consumption. So for a private player, they are treated as same. But from a social point of view, how the benefit is divided between savings and consumption is relevant. It means a rupee of benefits saved is deemed more valuable than a rupee of benefit consumed. In SCBA as well, a higher valuation is given to savings and lower valuation is put on consumption. Next point is concern for redistribution. A private firm does not bother how its benefits are distributed across various groups in the society. The SCBA, however, is concerned about the distribution of benefits across different groups. Means a rupee of benefit going to an economical poor section is considered more valuable than a rupee of benefit going to an affluent section. And the last point in significance is merit wants. The goals and preferences of the policy makers depend on the merit wants. Merit wants are the areas which are of long-term interest of the government. So the means the government may prefer to promote an adult education program or a balanced nutrition program for school going children, though these are not asked for by the consumers. So this shows the proactive approach of the government. For example, the midday meal program initiated by the government to promote the education. So, while merit wants are not relevant from the private point of view, but they are very important from the social point of view, and they are considered while evaluating the project on social perspective. So that's all about SCBA. In the next session, we will be discussing the two approaches of SCBA. Thank you very much.